from excited singlet state, if it is carried to a metastable triplet stage, then obviously in that case, here you will get the electron carriers to complete the light phase. It may be like this or it may be some other profile molecules. So remember this thing. So whenever electron profiles are carried to the excited singlet state, returning direct to the ground state, without going to the metastable triplet state, there will be no photosynthesis. But whenever it is carried to a metastable triplet state, here you get the electron carriers, so that actually photosynthesis, the light phase can occur or photophosphorylation can take place. Is it clear?
Sir, we excited singlet states, triplet state এগুলি কি?
Actually, this is the state of the chlorophyll molecules. Once from the chlorophyll molecule electrons are ejected, it reaches the higher energy state, which is called excited singlet state. Are you getting me?
Yes, sir.
Then it returns directly to the ground state or through the triplet. If it enters the triplet stage, then electron carriers will be available so that the photophosphorylation can take place. Otherwise not. Clear?
Sir, স্যার এক্সাইটেড সিঙ্গেলস স্টেট থেকে যখন হিট এবং ফ্লোরোসেন্ট রিলিজ হয় তারপরে এটা গ্রাউন্ড স্টেটে আসে আবার
যদি আসে তাহলে সেক্ষেত্রে কিন্তু নো ফটোসিনথেসিস।
আচ্ছা, তো স্যার এটা ট্রিপলেট স্টেটে কিভাবে যায়?
হ্যাঁ,
এটা ট্রিপলেট স্টেটে কিভাবে যায়?
Okay, look one thing. Basically, whenever prophets are ejected, then depending on how much energy is going to release, if it releases a huge amount of energy directly coming to the ground state, if it releases small amount of energy, then it can reach the singlet state, triplet or metastable stage. Are you getting me?
Yes, sir.
After that, you see, so it is a less excited state. It is a less excited state. And return to the clear. Now coming to the directly to the light phase. First of all, non-cyclic phase. You see what happens. P700 chlorophyll A PS1 was 2 photons. Two electrons are ejected. FRS, the unknown compound containing ferrous sulfide, is called FRS, or you can call ferredoxin. reducing substance. Once electron ejected, trapped by an unknown compound called FRS, or AFES means is a compound containing ferrous sulfide. From here, electrons carried to the ferredoxin. From ferredoxin, to NADP. FT-NADP reductase. Simultaneously, PS2 2 photons, two electrons are ejected. You fighting Oxyquinone, cytochrome B, F, during this electron transport at one place, energized electrons release some amount of energy. So that ADP to Pi to form ATP. Now, in this way, the P700 propyl of PH1 gets neutralized. Now, what happens here? A molecule of water, so we see two electrons are ejected, and they are to fill the electron deficiency of P6 propyl. This is what about the non-cyclic photophosphorylation, electron transport and photophosphorylation. বুঝতে পেরেছো? Is it clear? I'm giving you 2 minutes. Go through it.
স্যার সাইকেলটা একটু আবার বলবে?
Is it clear?
স্যার Mn++ এর নিচে কি লেখা?
Manganese and chloride ion. Manganese ion and chloride show you how OEC works.
স্যার
Hmm.
স্যার ফেরোডক্সিন রিডিউসিং সাবস্টেন্স ওই জায়গাটা একটু বুঝিয়ে দাও না।
Ferredoxin reducing substance is an unknown compound. Why it is called FRS? Because it donates electron or it provides electron to ferredoxin. In this way, it causes the reduction of ferredoxin. By providing electron to the ferredoxin, it reduces ferredoxin. Hence, this unknown compound is also called ferredoxin reducing substance. After this, from ferredoxin, electrons are carried to the NADP. So the NADP becomes NADP. So what happens here, you see, I am showing you NADP plus one proton, one electron. It becomes NADP. After getting another electron, it becomes NADPE. By getting one proton, it becomes, by getting another proton, it becomes, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
And here the electron ejected from PS2, that is P6 chlorophyll A, received by the pheophytin, then to the plastoquinone, then cytochrome B, cytochrome F, plastocyanin, and returning to the P700 chlorophyll A of photosystem 1. During this electron transport at one place, it is in between cytochrome B and cytochrome F, they release some amount of energy which stimulates ADP and PI to form ATP. That's why it is called photophosphorylation. The process by which ADP reacts with inorganic phosphate to form AT in the presence of sunlight and activated chlorophyll is called photophosphorylation, or process of formation of energy-rich compound. একটা মিনিট ওই মাছ তো একক কি মাছ একক কি মাছ আছে তোমার অনেকবার মারবো মেনি আছে হ্যাঁ মেনটা যদি ভালো হয় মেনটা দিয়ে ভালো 10টার মধ্যে আগে কিন্তু হ্যাঁ কটা 7টার পরে আগে কে যায় Look here. This is the oxygen evolving complex. This is the OEC. S4. In the S4, actually here, water splitted to form one molecule of oxygen, two protons. Here ejected here, then another proton, four protons. Four electrons ejected in this way, one proton, and electrons are in each step. S0 to S1, one electron is ejected, carried to P680. S1 to S2, one electron ejected, carried to P680. S2 to S3, one electron ejected, carried to P680. In this way, at 4 pages, ultimately, if two molecules of water are splitted, then 4 electrons are carried to P680. This is the functioning of the oxygen evolving complex, including 5 S stages: S4, S0, S1, S2, S3. So this is how oxygen evolving complex helps in the production of oxygen and also release of electrons to neutralize the P680 profile of PS2. The role of water here, not only to donate hydrogen is donated to reduce NADP, and also to release electron to fulfill the electron deficiency of P680 profile. Oxygen production is actually not the function, it is produced as a byproduct. As water is used, oxygen is produced as a byproduct. Hydrogen, it is going to donate hydrogen to reduce NADP, and it is also to donate electron to the P680 profile. So remember this thing, this is what about the non-cyclic electron transport and photophosphorylation. Now I am going to the next one, the cyclic electron transport. Is it clear?
Sir,
Yes.
sir, ये oxygen evolving complex টা একবার একটু বুঝিয়ে দাও।
Oxygen, first of all, you need to remember oxygen evolving complex consists of 5 S phases. Starting from S0, S1, S2, S3. So S4, S0, S1, S2, and S3. So what happened? The S0 phase, the S4 phase is the stage where splitting of oxygen occurs. Are you getting me? In the
Yes,
S0
sir.
phase, splitting of water takes place, producing 4 protons, 4 electrons, and 1 molecule of oxygen. 2 protons are immediately released, and from S0 to S1, 1 electron is carried to P680. From S1 to S2, another electron is carried to the P680. S2 to S3, again another electron is carried to P680. And again from S3 to S4, again another electron is carried to P680. In this way, through these S phases, ultimately electrons are carried to the P680 profile of PS2. দেখ বুঝতে পেরেছিস কি রে?
স্যার
বুঝেছি স্যার, বুঝেছি।
স্যার
হ্যাঁ বলো।
স্যার ইলেকট্রন ইভলভিং কমপ্লেক্সের নিচের পার্টটা কি লিখেছো এটা?
OEC.
স্যার নিচেরটা OEC to P680.
Oh, from OEC, 2 electrons are carried to the P680 profile of PS2.
স্যার OEC এর নিচে এটা কি?
Oh,
দেখি।
OEC নিচে দেখি, দাঁড়াও। বুঝাচ্ছি ব্যাস?
হ্যাঁ স্যার।
স্যার
বল।
স্যার P680 তো দুটো ইলেকট্রনের ডেফিসিয়েন্সি আছে, কিন্তু ওএসি থেকে তো 4টা ইলেকট্রন আসবে না।
When do actually you remember this thing? As here 2 photons are shown, so here 2 electrons are actually here given from one water. Thousands of water molecules are absorbed. So here it is shown they have got 2 molecules of water is shown. You see.
Yes sir, yes sir.
রাখবে S4, is the most reduced, as S4 most oxidized, and S0 is the most reduced phase. That लिखना है. S4 is more oxidized, most oxidized, and S0 is the most reduced stage of OEC. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So now regarding, I have to rub it out to show you the cyclic electron transport and phosphorylation. Can I rub it out now? Can I rub it out now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Acha, do one thing. Anyone, can you please take the photograph of the participants and send to the WhatsApp group, please? Anyone?
Okay, sir, I will do it.
Okay, please. Do it now. Now there are 39 participants, including me, and take a photograph and then send it to me. Send it to the group is better. Now I have to rub it out.
Yes, sir, I have done it.
Okay. Is it okay to everyone? I'm rubbing it out now. Subrajit.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Not to jot it down?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Now comes to the non-cyclic electron transport and photophosphorylation. What are the basic features? Only one photosystem takes part, and it is PS1. Fertilizer water doesn't occur. Reduction of NADP doesn't take place. ATP molecules are produced. Only PS1 takes part. Fertilizer water doesn't occur. Reduction of NADP doesn't take place. ATP molecules are produced. So, oxygen doesn't occur. Oxygen is not evolved. So this is what about the basic feature of cyclic electron transport. Now I am showing you. Two photons. So here electron rejected from one molecule returning to the same molecule again. And what happens here during this electron transfer at two places? একটা মিনিট একটু দাও Okay. Is it clear now? Non-cyclic at what I said at two places here in between. Look at this. Okay. So this is how ATP is produced during cyclic electron transport and photophosphorylation. Clear?
স্যার
ইয়েস স্যার।
হ্যাঁ বলো।
স্যার এই প্লাস টু কিউনাইন বা এগুলি যে ইলেকট্রন নিলে আনস্টেবল হয়ে যায় না?
They all are electron. Basically,
তাহলে
what happens during this electron transport, you will get it later on when chemiosmotic hydrolysis. So actually, a proton gradient is to be developed to help in the synthesis of ATP. But what is in when the electrons are passing through these carriers, actually, the energized electrons release some amount of energy, which in turn stimulate ATP and PI to form ATP. This is what happens in case of cyclic electron transport. Clear?
ইয়েস স্যার, ইয়েস স্যার।
Okay. मिलिए लाओ। FD cytochrome B. Basically, you write like this, then it will be easier for you to understand. FD cytochrome B. Just change it. It appears like this actually. Clear? Not plastoquinone, but you can hear plastoquinone also, but this is actually 5-hexene to cytochrome B. Cyclocytochrome, in this you write in case of cyclic electron transport. And photophosphorylation. Is it clear? Correct it.
স্যার এখানেও দুটো ইলেকট্রন থাকবে না?
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ
স্যার এখানেও দুটো ইলেকট্রন থাকবে না
হ্যাঁ
ফেরোডক্সি?
অবশ্যই থাকবে obviously same thing actually from ferridoxy it may comes to first to quinone via cytochrome B or directly to cytochrome B. That's why it is written here directly cytochrome B. So this is what about the non-cyclic electron transport. Its purpose is to produce ATP only. Actually, the amount of ATP produced in non-cyclic is not sufficient to carry out the dark phase. Amount of ATP produced in non-cyclic is not sufficient to carry out the dark phase, and hence, actually, cyclic electron transport and photophosphorylation is required to occur. Are you getting me? In non-cyclic, the amount of energy produced or energy stored in the form of ATP is not sufficient to carry out the dark phase. That's why cyclic photophosphorylation occurs so that ATP can be produced. Clear? So what is the purpose of cyclic? To provide required amount of ATP that will be required during dark phase of photosynthesis. Because the amount of ATP produced in non-cyclic type not sufficient to carry out the dark phase. Is it okay now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can I rub it out?
Okay, sir.
Then comes to the according to chemiosmotic hypothesis, during photosynthesis and respiration, ATP production involves two steps. Involves following two steps. One, creation of proton gradient. Two, flow of protons. So according to Peter Mitchell's chemiosmotic hypothesis, the ATP production in photosynthesis respiration involve two steps. And these are one, creation of proton gradient, two, flow of protons. One, creation of proton gradient, two, flow of protons. Clear? Now, how does it occur? I have to rub it out now. Can I rub it out, please?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is the thylakoid. What do you get here? The first one is the PS2. You'll get this is the PS2. PS2. I think you can remember H2 splits half O2 plus hydrogen and electrons carried here. So from here, electrons are carried, then again electrons are ejected from here. Ferredoxin PQ, after getting hydrogen, becomes PQ S2 and by releasing the electrons, it comes to cytochrome B. BF, or B6 and F. From here, the electrons carried here protons. From there, electrons are carried to the plastocyanin and then to the this is the PS1. So from here, electrons are carried here. Then NADP through the FD. In the meantime, the protons produced increase the proton gradient so that here you will get a complex is found CF0CF1 complex, actually it is. And the protons from here returning to the matrix ATP is produced. This is called CF0. This is called CF1. And it acts as ATPase enzyme. দেখ এই অবধি ক্লিয়ার কিনা আমি এটা পুরোটা বুঝিয়ে দিচ্ছি নাহলে হবে না First of all, how is proton gradient developed? I am telling you how concentration of proton is more in the lumen of the thylakoid than the matrix. Now this is the matrix. Chloroplast. How the concentration of proton is more in the lumen of thylakoid than the matrix of chloroplast, so that along the gradient proton can move towards the matrix to facilitate the production of ATP. Because according to Peter Mitchell's chemiosmotic hypothesis, first of all, the proton gradient is required to be developed. After the development of proton gradient, after the creation of proton gradient, there should be flow of proton along the gradient, which in turn facilitates ATP production. I make you understand the whole things. Listen carefully. Look here. There are three ways. One by one I am explaining. The ways by which concentration of protons can be increased in the lumen of thylakoid. Three ways. Look one thing. What are three ways? First of all, the primary acceptor of the photosystem 2 lies outside the outer membrane of the thylakoid. Lies outside the outer membrane of the thylakoid. This is the light energy. Outside the outer membrane of the thylakoid, so that once electrons are carried from P680 chlorophyll A to the primary receptor, it requires a hydrogen carrier to carry it to the next electron carrier. As the primary acceptor in PS2 lies outside the outer membrane of thylakoid, so from there, how then these electrons be carried to the next carrier? Listen carefully. As it is in the outside the outer membrane of thylakoid, so from here to carry this electron to the next electron carrier, these electrons are required to be carried through stroma. Electron carriers are not found in the stroma, rather in the membrane of the thylakoid. How from the primary acceptor electrons can be carried to the next carrier, because these electrons are now to be carried via stroma, because it lies outside the outer membrane of the thylakoid. Then it is to depend on hydrogen carrier. So hydrogen carrier will carry these electrons from primary acceptor of PS1, PS2 to the next electron carrier, suppose plus 2 quinone. Now, as hydrogen carrier is to carry these electrons, so it is also to carry proton along with it, so proton comes. In this way, concentration of proton increases in the lumen of thylakoid. First point. Is it clear or not?
স্যার আবার একটু বুঝাবে
স্যার আবার একটু বলে দাও
Look one thing. I'm just doing another simple diagram. So if the primary acceptor lies here and the next electron carrier is here, so from here electrons to be carried like this. This part is the stroma. In stroma no electron carrier is present. Then how from here electrons can be carried here? So what happens, I am telling you, Suppose this is the primary acceptor. Hydrogen carrier. Then suppose PQ. Clear? So via this it is to carry it to here. Look here. So as hydrogen carrier to carry the electrons from here to PQ, it also carries its own proton. While carrying electron, it also carries proton. So proton enters the lumen of thylakoid and concentration of proton increases in this way. Clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
That means why it is happening? Because the primary acceptor of PS2 lies outside the outer membrane of thylakoid. So from there to reach the next carrier, it is to pass to the stroma. No electron carrier is in the stroma, so it is to depend on hydrogen carrier present there. So hydrogen carrier, while carrying these electrons to the next carrier, it carries protons also. In this way, concentration of proton increases in the stroma. Clear? In the grana. Is it clear to everybody? First point.
Yes, sir.
Second point. Photolysis of water occurs in the grana. And in photolysis of water, water splits to form protons and electrons and also oxygen. So in this way, protons are accumulated in the grana and concentration of proton increases in the grana. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Lastly, you know, here in the presence of FD NADP reductase, which is called FNR, NADP gets combined to NADPH. NADP for the reduction of NADP. FD NADP reductase requires both protons and electrons. For the reduction of NADP, FD NADP reductase enzyme requires both protons and electrons. So what it is going on here? FD NADP reductase utilizes electrons from the grana as it is ejected from the PS1, but it utilizes the protons from the stroma as protons from the stroma are utilized. So in this way also concentration of proton increases in the grana. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Because if protons are utilized from stroma, it means concentration of proton increases in the grana. Okay. So it is the three ways by which concentration of proton increases in the grana. Now its concentration is found more than the stroma. But due to these three ways, the concentration of proton increases in the lumen of the thylakoid and it is now more than the hydrogen concentration present in the stroma. So across the membrane, as a result of across the thylakoid membrane, a proton gradient is developed. Clear? Listen carefully. With the help of these three ways, concentration of proton increases in the lumen of thylakoid. Now, it is the concentration of proton, now it is found more than the concentration of proton found in the stroma. As concentration of proton is more in the grana than stroma, now from grana across the thylakoid membrane towards the stroma, a gradient is developed, which is called proton gradient. Is it clear now how is proton gradient developed in this case?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So once proton gradient is developed, the next consequence is the flow of proton. Protons are to flow, obviously, along the gradient. That is from higher concentrated region towards the lower concentration region. That is from grana to stroma. But the pathway is only through the CF0-CF1 complex found in the membrane of the thylakoid. So in the CF1 actually, it acts as a TPase enzyme. So here, ATP synthase, দেখা যাচ্ছে না বড় করে লিখছি, কি লিখেছি এটা আমি বড় করে দেখাচ্ছি এখানে। ATP synthase, দেখা যাচ্ছে কি লিখেছি আমি এখানে, ATP synthase. Now in the presence of ATP synthase, while protons are passing through this, the gradient is broken down. Once proton starts to move from grana to stroma, gradient is broken down. As gradient is broken down, then what happens? As gradient is broken down, the energy is produced, which stimulates ADP and PI in the presence of ATP synthase to form ATP. This is how, according to chemiosmotic hypothesis, ATP production by ATP is synthesized with the help of this, according to chemiosmotic hypothesis. You see, this is how, according to chemiosmotic hypothesis, ATPs are synthesized in photosynthesis. Clear? দেখেন একটু ভালো করে।
স্যার থার্ড পয়েন্টটা যে স্যার থার্ড পয়েন্টের মধ্যে যে বললে যে প্রোটন তো ইউটিলাইজ হয়ে যায়, তাহলে ভেতরে কি করে বাড়ে লিউমেনের মধ্যে?
If protons are utilized from the stroma, as protons are utilized in the stroma means concentration increase in the grana, gradient is developed na.
NADPH তে তৈরি হয়ে যাচ্ছে।
হোক না, electrons are proton for NADPH, for the reduction of NADP, FNR, that is FT NADP reductase enzyme, requires protons and electrons. Protons are utilized from the stroma. As protons are utilized from the stroma means eventually concentration increase in the grana. If you compare these two regions separated by this membrane, if some protons are utilized from here means here the concentration increases here, right?
Yes,
Gradient
sir.
is, the difference is more here.
Yes,
দেখ
sir.
বুঝতে পেরেছিস কিনা?
স্যার সাইটোক্রোমের পর কি লিখেছিল কি বি না এফ?
Cytochrome B6. The beta is cytochrome B6 আর হচ্ছে F দুটো একসঙ্গে লেখা হয়েছে।
স্যার এটিপি প্রোডাকশনের পার্টটা আবার একটু বলতে পারবে?
হ্যাঁ শিওর, কেন বলতে হবে। What it is said in chemiosmotic hypothesis? In chemiosmotic, just a minute, please. In chemiosmotic hypothesis, according to chemiosmotic, to produce ATP, that to facilitate ATP production, two steps are involved. One is creation of proton gradient and flow of proton. Creation of proton gradient means concentration of proton is required to be more in the lumen of thylakoid than the stroma. There are three ways already I discussed. One, as the primary acceptors lies outside the outer membrane of thylakoid, so from there electrons are to be carried to the next electron carrier via a hydrogen carrier, and hence hydrogen is also carried inside the lumen of thylakoid. In this way, concentration of proton increases. Photolysis of water occurs in the lumen of grana and where thylakoid, then due to which also protons are produced. In this way also, concentration of proton increases. In the third case, pyridoxine reducing substances actually, as in the to facilitate the reduction of NADP, utilizes protons from the grana and stroma, and hence also the difference of concentration increases. And in this way, ultimately, a concentration difference developed between the lumen of thylakoid and the stroma of the chloroplast. So that means in the lumen, the concentration of proton is more than what it is in the matrix of chloroplast. So obviously, in this way, through the thylakoid membrane, a gradient is developed. So once a gradient is developed, next course should be the flow of proton. And protons should always flow from a region of higher gradient towards the region of lower gradient, that is higher concentration to the lower concentration. And across the CF0, CF1 complex. CF0 is found to be embedded in the what is called the thalloid membrane, and CF1 is found to be an outgrowth. In the CF1, C1 actually acts as ATPase enzyme. So all electrons are passing through this CF0 complex. The gradient is broken down, energy is produced, stimulates ADP and PI in the presence of ATP synthase to form ATP. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Huh? This is how actually it helps. So what is required actually? So this is what the chemiosphere have. This is that works in photosynthesis. Is it clear?
Yes,
Any doubt
sir.
you can tell me. Any doubt?
Sir, SNR টা কি?
Oh, ferredoxin, FD NADP reductase. FD NADP reductase. FD FD NADP reductase, definite. I think you can remember FD NADP reductase to reduce NADP. It's an enzyme which utilizes protons from the stroma and electrons from the gamma. Once gradient is not broken down, energy is not released, so conformational change of the CF1 not going to take place, so that it cannot help in the production of ATP. Are you getting me? Are you getting me? Once proton
Yes, sir.
starts to move, proton gradient is broken down, energy is produced, required to change the required for the conformational change of the ATP synthase, that is CF1. After that only it can help in the production of ATP. That's why it is said whenever proton gradient is broken down, energy is released, which helps in the production of ATP. Actually, how it works? Once proton gradient is broken down, energy is produced, which is required to required for the conformational change of the ATP synthase, that is CF1, and then only it can help in the synthesis of ATP. Clear to everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is what about the chemiosmotic hypothesis already I discussed, and this is the most important one, and you need to go through your textbook, and if you have any problem regarding this, you can ask me. Now I am going to ask someone. Wait a minute, please. But they are from the last.